Okay, I'm back. Yeah, but we need to build around him. We need to get players, you know, that that's gonna be, you know, top notch, you know, passionate, you know, great at what they do, you know, in a position. I mean, if that's players like Odell Beckham Jr., you know, as long as he has the right attitude, of course, as long as he's putting in the work, you know, I did like T.Y. Hilton. I believe in that game. Definitely, Dak missed him wide open, and that's my opinion. I'm not a quarterback. I don't, obviously have the knowledge to see the field the way a QB would. So, I mean, maybe that wasn't as tangible as we thought that it would be, but what I saw watching the game was that T.Y. Hilton was wide open. I mean, but Dak was set on. He didn't even look left or further right. His eyes were pinpoint on CeeDee Lamb that whole time. So it is what it is, but we can only control what we can control. So I think that we just need to make changes around Dak. We need to build up the offensive line. We need to make sure that we have depth on the offensive line. You know, we say we want to move Tyron Smith back to the left tackle position, and that's fine. I'm good with that, but we know Tyron Smith's history. We know he can't stay healthy. We cannot depend on these players just, like Tyron Smith. We can't depend on, this is the NFL. Players get hurt. That's just the reality. So we have to prepare. We have to make sure that we show up those spots, man. First, the starters, and then coming off the bench, we need players. We need depth. The coordinator, the OC, which I hope we get a new OC, needs to cater to Dak's strengths. Make sure that they're not just expecting him to sit in the pocket and be a pocket passer and a gunslinger, because that's just not his game. He can't do it. I'm sorry. 7 years, that's just what it is. We saying, let's get Dak back to his rookie year, whatever that means. Let's do it. Dak, we need him to be a double threat. We need the threat of him using his legs on every play. I don't care if it's where we are on the field. We need that threat. We need this. We just need to do better for him. We need to build it around him. But at the end of the day, Dak is, we changed the coordinator out. Head coach stay the same. That's fine. Hopefully our defense will come back and have a great year again. But this has to be. We have to give Dak every opportunity, because we can't just cut him. We can't just throw him out. And then this is with having a new coordinator, I think then we can really evaluate. These next year or 2 years of Dak, it needs to be a full evaluation to say, okay, this is it. We giving you everything, every chance, every opportunity. If he's the reason and we lose again like this, it's after 7 years, you would think we would know by now. But the reality is, he's under contract. We can't do anything about that. So that's my take on Dak. You know, I think that for our next quarterback, we do fucking not need to go searching for fuck these, you know, undrafted players. I mean, no offense, you know. I mean, they're you know, they're players that are great at what they do and they deserve opportunities. But at the QB position, which is the most important position on a football team in the NFL, what we need is a first round, you know, player pick, you know, coming out of one of these top tier schools. I'm talking, you know, LSU, Tennessee. You know, I know some of these college teams don't have these top tier quarterbacks right now, but I'm just saying, you know, like these players that have been in these big games in college and have seen, you know, the pressure and felt the pressure of performing because of that high standard that they're held to. You know, like we need to stop thinking about, you know, what Tom Brady came from, 7th round pick out of Michigan. Okay, but Michigan, one of the top tier schools, you know, that's one thing. But we need to look at a QB that's gonna have that dog in him, man. That's gonna come out of college with a winning mentality, man. I mean, I'm just like, that's just my opinion, man. We need to stop looking at these undrafted fools, these players coming out of the 4th round, and we just, you know, whatever tendencies they had in college, whether it's throwing interceptions, whether it's, you know, just certain bad habits that were signs, or for reasons that they didn't get drafted high, that needs to, those signs need to be put on the forefront. We don't need to go into, have a QB like that come into the Cowboys and expect them to perform like a Tom Brady, like a Aaron Rodgers, you know, Joe Burrow, whatever. They are what they are, and that's why they get drafted 3rd, 4th, 5th round for a reason. Okay, so like I said, Tom Brady, you know, anomaly. You know, who knows what this Brock Purdy guy's gonna be coming out of the 7th round? Who knows? He did come out of Iowa State, if I'm not mistaken, or Iowa, whichever school. So those are still pretty good schools. I mean, who knows? I mean, yeah, Mississippi State's a pretty good school. But what did Dak do when he was in college? He ran the ball. He was a runner. You know? He wasn't a gunslinger. So that's just my opinion. And we expect him to just be this pocket QB, throwing accurate passes is not going to happen. Because when you have teams like the 49ers, whose defense is fast, strong, and they're the top #1 defense for a reason, what he does is not going to work unless he uses his legs and unless he, you know, plays to his strengths. And we haven't seen that because Kellen Moore, just my opinion, I don't know what they talk about in practice and in the film room. But what I see on the field is I see a QB that's trying to stand in the pocket like a Joe Burrow, like a Tom Brady, and sling the ball around. And what is happening is when you have these fast, strong players like Nick Bosa, Fred Warner, guys coming in blitzing is forcing him to make a decision quick. And unfortunately, Dak is a smart guy, but I don't think he's, smart at reading the field fast enough to get the ball to the right player. That's just my opinion. That's just my opinion. So, this is my take on Dak. This is my just how I feel about Dak Prescott. If we want to talk about the front office, man, 30 years, man. 30 years. Jimmy Johnson, he's not in the Ring of Honor. He doesn't get any credit for what he did, being a coach back in the 90s and everything. All this shows, and we sit back and we think, that anything's gonna be that this is gonna be any different. Yeah, they've done some great things. Okay, they've drafted players, they've put the team, in place. They've done a great job at that. They've done things. Okay, they've done things. They've done some great things with player acquisitions and stuff like that. Making sure that we have draft picks every year, not just throwing in the tank and then not having nothing to show for it, and and being empty the next year when it comes to drafting and just having those pieces or whatever to grow with. But the problem is, the thing that I see is a front office that doesn't sweat, that doesn't really worry about anything. They're not. They care. They want to win. Okay, but there's no fear. There's no sense of urgency, in my opinion. There's just, okay, we got these players. We should win. We build around Dak. Dak should do this. Dak should be this. Everything should work out with Dak. Should, could, would. Everything's, should be great. This and that, whatever, right? I mean, but just think about that. A front office, like, just think what it would be like if we had a general manager who wasn't the owner, right, of that team. And just think, the general manager, a guy that comes in with no ties at all to the owners, to the family of the team or whatever. Just no ties. I mean, that guy or girl would just be so, so giddy just to, first of all, just to be able to be a part of the organization. And don't you think that person would just have this sense of urgency? Just give them the full control. Like, okay, they have the experience. They have all the qualifications in order to be the GM. Okay, they come in and they just they use their knowledge. They use every tool that they have in their body to make sure that this team is built the right way. All right. And when things don't work, they're freaking out. They're like, that could work in our favor. That could be a bad thing, right? Because you don't want them jumping around, giving away our picks and doing something stupid, right? To just get someone in the building thinking, okay. But man, I'm sorry, I hate the Eagles, right? I can't stand them. I mean, fuck them. But look at Howie Roseman. Look at their GM. They always showing their GM during the games when they winning. I'd rather see Howie Roseman than Sirianni punchable face. But just look at it, man. Look at what he's done to build that team. Just last year, we were whooping the Eagles' ass. I mean, we kicked their ass in that first game. Made Jalen Hurts look pedestrian. They were talking about replacing him, getting a new quarterback and everything. They were done with Jalen Hurts, and we were laughing at them. Remember, we were laughing at their ass like, haha, y'all have Jalen Hurts. He sucks. Okay, come around the very next year, these motherfuckers won 13 games. We won 12 games. We should have won the fucking division. These motherfuckers won 13 games. Okay, 13. And they look like juggernauts. Like nobody can stop them. AJ Brown. Like you bring in AJ Brown. I mean, we had Amari Cooper, right? But I mean, yeah, they're comparable, right? They're comparable in what they can do on the field, physical wise and everything like that. But when I think about AJ Brown, his mentality toward the game compared to Amari, this is just looking on the field, right? Just seeing what I see on the field. I don't know behind closed doors and their work ethic and all those type of things. But AJ Brown is a bully at that receiver position, man. He's passionate. He talks noise. He goes and he gets the ball. He does things on the field. He wins. He wants to win. He shows it. Amari Cooper, I don't know. I didn't see that, but I saw a guy who was just would break ankles, running routes and stuff like that. So we knew what we had in him. But the dumb shit that we did was we cut him. We got a nothing 5th round pick, which is nothing. And what do? We just say, oh, okay, we got Dak Prescott. To me, when I look at that, that's just like, to me, that's complacency. To me, that's complacency. This front office is complacent. They feel like they do things mindlessly because they're so great at doing it, and they don't really, because there's no repercussions. There's only missing the playoffs, or not missing the playoffs necessarily, but there's just not even getting to the NFC Championship game. That's the downside for them. But what else does it hurt? Nothing, right? Because they still get jersey sales, they still get ticket sales, they make all the damn money in the world, right? There's nothing really that's hurting them except, oh, we didn't make it to the NFC Championship game. So you might see Jerry Jones doing an interview and he shed a few tears, this and that. And then the next day, oh, I'm going to do, he's probably on this yacht, sailing around. Not even thinking about it. I mean, and we, as the fans, I'm sitting here recording this video on Wednesday. The game was Sunday. I should be over this shit by now, but I'm not. Right? Because I'm a passionate fan. Unfortunately, I don't have the ability to go jump on a yacht and try to forget about shit like this. I wish I could, but I can't. I have to go to work. I got people at work who are 49ers fans. I got to look them in the face every day. See? You know what I'm saying? But I jumped off my original point, which is we need a general manager. We need somebody not tied to this team to run operations for this team. You can say maybe that's Will McClay, but is Will McClay really really in control of those things? I don't think so. I mean, he's more like he's more like a scout. He's more like acquisition, getting players, which is fine. So what? We got rid of, is it his fault we got rid of Amari Cooper and got a 5th round pick out of him? I mean, is it his fault that we not looking at a QB? Is it his fault that we got Dak in the 4th round and he was successful, for the most part, but we still can't win. We still can't win the big games. Is that a fireable offense? I don't know. That's just my opinion, man. I mean, we know nothing's going to change in the front office. God forbid Jerry Jones pass away, maybe. But still got Steven. Still got Jerry Jones Jr., right? Still got their kids. I mean, I don't know. Maybe Stephen Jones will have a different attitude towards running the team. Maybe he'll step back. Maybe he'll let someone come in and actually be the general manager besides him and actually take care of those operations, and then let them sweat about making decisions, because that pressure will make them work hard to make sure that the Cowboys are in great position to win. So these are just my thoughts. I'm gonna try to post these videos on YouTube, and hopefully it works. And I'm hoping to do this regularly, because I can't seem to, I try to tweet things and talk about this stuff to other people, but I have no one to talk to. My wife is not gonna listen to me talk about this crap. She don't care about the Cowboys. But I am very passionate. I love the Cowboys. I will always love the Cowboys. But I want to win. And that means whatever it takes. I love Dak, man. He's a great guy. I love his story. I hate this situation that he's been through. I hate how people are talking trash about him all the time, because he doesn't deserve it. But at the end of the day, I want to win. And if you're the problem, clearly Dak was the problem. Unfortunately, it was clear. It was point blank clear that he was the problem. He was the reason we didn't win that game in San Francisco. To me, it was him, number one, and it was Kellen Moore, number 2. That's my opinion. That's my opinion, because Kellen Moore got to put him in position. Think about that 2nd and 2. 2nd and 2. What happened in 2nd and 2? 2 yards on their 20-yard line. Think about that. Just that series will never go away. We'll always think about that. 2nd and 2 at their 20. The score is 6 up, right? Like a little less, maybe 2 minutes or less to go in the 2nd quarter, and we're gonna get the ball in the 3rd quarter. Think about that for a sec, man. Think about how we could have just made a statement in that series. Here's another play I think about. Trayvon Diggs had an opportunity. I don't care. The ball, in real time, yeah, everything happened so fast, and you just whiff on plays, right? But we've seen Trayvon Diggs catch uncatchable balls, right? We've seen that. We expect that from Trayvon Diggs. And a lot of people out here saying, oh, Trayvon Diggs, he don't have to tackle. He don't have to be physical. He intercepts the balls. Well, do your job, Trayvon Diggs. Intercept the ball. That's your job. If you're not gonna tackle, you're not gonna be physical, pick the damn ball off then. Do something. Instead, I think Diggs is back there snoring. He's sleeping. He's sleeping on the field because, quarter QBs don't throw his way all the time. So a lot of time is Diggs Island, whatever, right? But when they do throw his way, maybe he's like sleep, right? And then he wakes up when the ball's thrown his way. So all of a sudden, like, oh shit, they throwing my way. And it's it's too late. He was sleeping on the field. I mean, that's like if you sleep in the bed and it's time for you to wake up, go to school, go to work, whatever. And then your mom come in your room, say, hey, wake up, throw a pillow at you, and you, oh shit, it wakes you up. It gets you up like, oh damn, it's time for me to wake up. That's Trayvon Diggs. They threw the ball at him. Oh shit, I was supposed to catch that. It dropped. Because he was snoring. He was snoring, he was sleeping. He had sleep apnea in that situation. I mean, that to me, that's entitlement. That's just thinking, like, I belong here. This is my side of the field. I'm the guy. To me that sounds, to me that's entitlement. Like, ain't nobody scared of their job. And that goes back to me to the front office, man. Because when a GM that ain't tied to this team, that don't know these fucking players, that don't, that don't care about nothing but winning, everybody needs to be on notice. So that's all I got. I'm hoping that, this is the off season now. So this is just like my off season thoughts, with the team, period. But I hope I'll be more consistent coming into the season, because I do love talking about this team, but unfortunately I have to look at the screen, talk to the screen, because nobody want to hear me talk about this shit. So, all right, guys, it's been real, and I'll talk to you later. Cowboys out.